Wakey wakey, the Kellogg's football camps are back this summer. To claim a free place, purchase a promotional pack of Kellogg's cornflakes, Cocoa Pops or Rice Krispies. Scan the QR code on pack or visit kelloggsfc.com to request your free code. See website for full terms and conditions.
When your company earns unlimited 2% cash back on all purchases with Capital One, that's serious business. So Steven at SandCloud got a serious business card, the Spark Cash Plus card from Capital One.
We used our 2% cash back to help build our retail presence.
Savvy, Steven.
And we get big purchasing power, so our business can spend more and earn more.
The Spark Cash Plus card from Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms and conditions apply. Find out more at CapitalOne.com/SparkCashPlus.
Hello Football for Kids listeners. If you haven't listened to my new series, Guess the Footballer, then please go and give it a listen. 10 minutes on the clock. How many footballers can you guess from 10 clues? But if you get it wrong, then I'm afraid we take 30 seconds off the clock. But if you get it right after the first clue, we'll add 60. Listen and play along right now. To the Football for Kids podcast with me, Darren Rees. It's time for another new episode and a part 2 on a player who the world can't stop talking about, especially you lot, the listeners of the Football for Kids podcast. Of course, in this episode, we're going to be talking about the player who's just turned 18 years old and has already achieved an incredible amount, which is, of course, Lamine Yamal. Right then, before we get into this episode properly, let's chuck in one of your Apple Podcast reviews. And a massive thank you to everybody who's hit the follow button wherever you listen to the show, who's given it a 5-star review, 5-star rating wherever you listen to the show, and in particular to Neymar. That's probably not the Neymar that we're all thinking of, but that's what this person's name is on Apple Podcast subscription. And Neymar says, the best podcast ever. 5 stars. All the episodes are the best. I have been listening back through all of your podcasts and they are so good. Please can I make a request on a player? I would like to hear one on Miles Lewis-Skelly because I am an Arsenal supporter. Thanks so much, from James. Well, James, first of all, a massive shout out to you. Everybody you play football with, every single person you know, every single person in your family, in your school, and everybody else. And also, you'll be pleased to know that I've already done an episode on Miles Lewis-Skelly. It was about, blimey, maybe 6 or 7 months ago. It was after he scored that amazing goal against Manchester City and did the Haaland celebration. So there is an episode out there on Miles Lewis-Skelly for you to go and have a listen to, and what a player he is. Okay then, here we go. Part 2 on Lamine Yamal, one of the most requested episodes I've had in a very, very long time. I recorded the very first episode on him in June 2024. I'll push that episode back up to the top of the podcast feed so it opens up next to this episode and you can listen to the pair of the episodes together if you wish to. You may not have already listened to that episode if you're new to the show. If you are new to the show, there are over 400 episodes for you to check out. Just have a scroll through and I'm sure you'll find lots that you like. At the end of the last episode on Lamine Yamal, he was just heading off to Germany for the Euro 2024 tournament as a 16-year-old. And he said that when he wasn't playing games or training, he would be doing his homework. And we'll come back to that in just a moment. So, here we are, as I record this on July 15th, 2025. And a lot has happened since then. First of all, he's now 18 years old. In fact, it was only 2 days ago as I record this that he turned 18 years old, and what he's done in football is truly special. Of course, that tournament I mentioned earlier, and the one that I was referring to at the end of the first ever episode on Lamine Yamal, was the Euro 2024 tournament in Germany. What happened in that tournament, and what did he do? I guess that's a good place to start. Well, of course, he became a record breaker that summer, becoming the youngest player in the tournament's history. And in his tournament debut in a game against Croatia, other than breaking the record for becoming the youngest tournament player ever, he also got his name on the assist sheet. And subsequently, he broke yet another record when he became the youngest assister in the Euro tournament history. I mean, literally everything he did in that tournament, he became the youngest ever to do it. The coaching team for Spain for that tournament said he was seriously impressive, but for so many different reasons. But the one which really stood out for them was the fact that he said he was going to bring his homework to the tournament. Now, there's one thing saying you're going to bring your homework to the tournament, and there's another thing sitting down at the end of a training session or after a game when everybody else is decompressing and getting stuck into your homework to make sure that your teacher's happy. That is exactly what Lamine Yamal did. In around the 16 of the Euros, he scored a goal. Of course, then he became the youngest player to ever score in the Euros, breaking Jude Bellingham's record. Jude held the record before him. At 16 years old and 362 days, that strike made him the youngest goal scorer in the history of the European Championships and any other major international tournament, breaking the record which was set by Pelé at the 1958 World Cup. That tournament, everyone was speaking about him. Gary Lineker even wrote on his own social media to say a star had been born, and his name was Lamine Yamal. The goal which Lamine Yamal scored that day was followed by a celebration where he used 3 fingers to symbolise the number 3. Then he used his thumb and his index finger to make the number 0. And then, on his other hand, he held up 4 fingers. The reason he did that celebration, and he often does it now, even today, is to represent the number 304. That was a part of his address in the neighbourhood which he grew up in. It is a nod to his past and to the people who still live there today. He's letting them know that he hasn't forgotten them. The Spanish newspapers at the Euro 2024 tournament were going crazy about Yamal. He was front page news at 16 years old. The headlines were, "This kid is a miracle. We're just waiting for him to walk on water." Torres, a previous Spanish legend, was asked about him at the time, and he said what Lamine Yamal is doing at 16 years old should quite frankly be illegal. The skills and flair that he has at his age is quite honestly not fair on the rest of the footballing world. He's unbelievable in so many ways. In the Euro 2024 final on July 14th, just one day after Lamine Yamal's 17th birthday, Spain won 2-1 in a game against England to claim the trophy. Yamal started the final and even provided an assist for Spain's opening goal. He then became the youngest player ever to record a goal involvement in a major final with their victory. He then earned a winner's medal and became the youngest champion of a major international tournament. 248 days younger than Pelé was when Brazil won the 1958 World Cup. Back with Barcelona, and now a Euros winner, Lamine Yamal kept impressing in a big way. Yamal opened the 2024-25 season strongly, scoring in Barcelona's second league match in August and registering an assist in his first. On September 19, 2024, he scored his first UEFA Champions League goal, an equaliser against AS Monaco. At 17 years old and 68 days old, that made him the second youngest goal scorer in Champions League history. In October 2024, he started in the El Clásico, the legendary match between Barcelona and Real Madrid. He scored a goal in Barcelona's 4-0 victory that day at the Bernabeu, of all places. That goal, a one-time finish off a cross, made Yamal, at 17 years old and 105 days, the youngest goal scorer in El Clásico history. As FC Barcelona chased trophies, Yamal kept raising his level. By April 2025, Barca had reached their first Champions League semi-final in years, and Yamal delivered another record-breaking moment. In the Champions League semi-final first leg against Inter Milan, he scored a spectacular solo goal, winning the ball, dribbling past defenders, and then curling a left-foot shot in past the post. This sparked a comeback from 2-0 down to a draw at 3-3. And it happened to be Yamal's 100th appearance for Barcelona. At 17 years old and 291 days, Yamal became the youngest player to ever make 100 appearances for FC Barca. He was then presented with a special 100 games jersey afterwards to mark the milestone. Not only that, his Inter-goal made him the youngest goalscorer ever in a Champions League semi-final, easily beating Kylian Mbappe's record, which was when he was 18 years old in a semi-final for Monaco. In just over a couple of years, he's gone from being a new kid at Barcelona's senior team to smashing nearly every record in the book. The youngest to play, score, star and shine on some of the biggest stages in the world. Spain, La Liga, the Champions League, even the El Clasico. He's made history everywhere he's gone. And he did most of it before he even blew out the candles on his 18th birthday cake. The awards have come flying in too. From the Copa Trophy to the Golden Boy and plenty in between. He's been named one of the best young sports stars on the planet. Forget football, he is a superstar in sport. But beyond all the trophies and all the goals, the real magic is how he's handling it. He's cool, calm and confident. Not cocky, just focused. He believes in himself, and that is powerful. He even told reporters before the Euros, you have to be confident, always. Then scored a wonder goal to prove it. That's the kind of mindset young players everywhere can learn from. Lamine Yamal's story shows that it doesn't matter how young you are. It doesn't matter where you come from. If you dream big, if you work hard and you believe in yourself, and that is so important, you really can do anything, because anything is possible. So whether you're just kicking a ball around in a back garden or dreaming at the big stage, Lamine Yamal was a kid just like you. And now he's a young man shining on the biggest stage of them all. And there's no reason why you can't do the things which you wish to and you dream of. So remember, if you know somebody who loves football just as much as you do, then please tell them about Football for Kids. And whether you're playing football soon, watching it on the telly or pitch side, I hope that you enjoy the game. See you next time.
This podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.
You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. Stop struggling to get your job post seen on other job sites. With Indeed sponsored jobs, your post jumps to the top of the page for your relevant candidates, so you can reach the people you want faster. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed have 45% more applications than non-sponsored jobs. Don't wait any longer. Speed up your hiring right now with Indeed. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/kidsandfamily. Just go to Indeed.com/kidsandfamily right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Hiring? Indeed is all you need.